Hello and welcome to I Follow Wrexham, and welcome to the Brick Community Stadium. There's a sign outside saying Brick Donation Centre, so I thought they'd finished building it, but apparently not. Thank you very much. I'm here all week. Please tip your waiters. I'm Mark Griffiths. I'll be joined soon by Mia Roberts and Andy Morrell. They're down on the side of the pitch now, live on Wrexham's YouTube channel, finishing off Match Day Live with Chris Malaban, so you can go across, see the end of their analysis if you wish. And then, wow, another big game as Wrexham push on to try and make history. They're singing it's the Will Griggs on Fire song playing, but it's the Wrexham fans making the noise and singing along. In fact, to be frank, I mean, wow, the away end is unbelievable. I mean, Wigan give a lot of tickets. We've had for a league game, the biggest since 1978. There's definitely ones missing, but this is impressive. That puts it into some context, and my word, they have been making noise for the last 45 minutes. The rest of the stadium looks pretty sparse by comparison, but the away end is just a wall of red as we wait for the teams to come out. The Wrexham side, well, the only question really was, is Jay Rodriguez okay? He came off, of course, with a tight calf. And also James McLean, not James McLean, George Dobson, who, despite Boston claiming that he was play acting, sustained a nasty gash on his calf when he was fouled by Webster, who of course was sent off last Saturday. Well, he is fit, Rodriguez is fit, so it's a completely unchanged side, including the substitutes bench. So Wrexham lining up with Arthur Okonkwo in goal, the back three, Max Cleworth on the right, in the middle Owen O'Connell, and on the left Lewis Brunt. In midfield will be Dobson. Matty James, who on the team sheet is named as Matty Daniels. Well, there's a weird one. And also in the centre of midfield, Ollie Rathbone. Your wing backs, well, Ryan Longman on the right, on the left, returning to the club that he served of distinction for two spells, James McLean. This could be that one game where he doesn't get abused by the other side's fans. Wouldn't that be nice? And then up front, Sam Smith and Jay Rodriguez. The substitutes, as I said, also unchanged. So we've got Callum Burton as sub-keeper, Tom O'Connor, Jack Marriott, Dan Scarr, a certain Stephen Fletcher, Ryan Barnett and Elliot Lee. Two changes for Wigan from the side that got an away draw against Exeter. They've got a couple of good away draws under their belt in the last week, Exeter and Orient, and it's got to be pointed out. I mean, although their league position is extremely disappointing for them, the truth of the matter is that they are a very difficult team to break down. They've got the best defence outside the promotion places in the division, which has got to be respected, although it also should be pointed out they are the lowest scorers in the division, and so predictably Wigan games have fewer goals than any other in the division. So they line up with Sam Tickle, high quality goalkeeper, in goal. They played three at the back last time. I'm wondering if they've switched to a back four. We'll have to see. If it's a back four, it'll be John Mellish coming in at right back, Luke Robinson at left back, James Carragher, Jamie Carragher's son, alongside Will Aimson at centre back, and then Jason Kerr stepping forwards from centre-back into midfield alongside Jensen Weir, and the other change, Baba Adiko, Irish under-21 international. Owen Dale will then perhaps support the strikers, who are Valenza Samoa and Dale Taylor. The bench for them: Tom Watson, Chris Z, Toby Sibic, Callum McManaman, the two players who've lost their places from last Saturday, from midweek rather, Scott Smith and Harry McHugh, and Joe Hungbo. It's going to be fascinating, and fasten your seatbelts as well for when the teams come out now, because I tell you, Wrexham are going to make a lot of noise. It's a terrific crowd there. Down by the pitches, of course, Krusty the Pie, the Wigan mascot, and they're famous for their pies in these parts. Joined by oh dear, it's a bit embarrassing, a rogues gallery of people in superhero fancy dress as the teams come out. Wrexham led out by James McLean against his old club, and we were tipped off that oddly Wigan warm up in the end of the away end and tend to attack the home end when they are in the first half. Let's hope that James McLean, who of course knows his way, he's around here, knows the ropes, will be winning the toss and switching that around, because attacking this away end at the second half would be quite a spectacle. Well, Mia and Andy have got up from pitch side. It's a nice day out there, and goodness me, the atmosphere is just fabulous, isn't it?
Well, it's unbelievable. We've got an absolutely brilliant view of those Wrexham fans in that away stand. 4,630 of them, I believe, is the number, and it's an absolutely marvellous view. That's something, you know, we've been dying to see for so many years, and so far we've seen it so many times this season. Some great away support. Let's just hope the boys can give them something to go home with today.
James McLean ran to the away end, but only to make a big fuss, bless him, of the Wigan mascot. Classy touch. It's, I mean, I've already mentioned, Andy, that Wigan are a team, there aren't many goals in their games, are there? They're the lowest scorers, best defence outside the promotion places as well, and we have set a club record for most 1-0 wins, so it'll be 8-all, I assume.
Yeah, possibly today you might have put the kibosh on it by saying that. But yeah, you can only play what's put in front of you. Yeah, they haven't scored many goals, especially the last 5 they haven't won, and they only scored a couple, I think, in those, but they have drawn the last few. And so they're just trying to build that little bit of momentum to just give them that lift, to just keep them in this division and make sure. I think it's only 1 win that they need, maybe 4 points, just to keep them in. But this is a free hit, like I said on Matchday Live, for everybody here, that they can just go at this game, be free. They're not expected to get anything from this. And can they cause a little bit of an upset? And that's certainly what they'll be trying to do.
I heard some of their press almost saying, you know, the other games to come are more important for them. But goodness me, I mean, if you don't let goals in, you've got to fancy your chances no matter who you play, you would like to think. Because we've actually done quite well lately against sides who've come up against us with a decent defensive record. Let's see if we can maintain that, as we will be kicking towards the away fans in the first half, after a conquo in front of a really sparsely populated end at the other end. Most of the Wigan fans are in the main stand that we're in, and the other 2 stands aren't too full. But the Wrexham end, wow, tremendous. They're making marvellous noise. As I said at the start of the broadcast, it's the 4th biggest recorded away league following Wrexham's ad, although it must be said there'll be lots of games where there isn't a recorded away following. As here we go, Wrexham getting things underway. Cleworth, with the crowd already in full throat, knocks it long. It goes all the way through to Tickle, who fumbles. He recovers it okay. It would have been a corner. It wasn't on target had it got past him. But I was building up Tickle. He's a good keeper. Let's hope that's freaked him out, eh?
Well, they've obviously watered the pitch just before kick-off there, because that has skidded right off the surface and really taken him by surprise.
Good header by Brunton. McLean is fouled. Free kick to Wrexham, and the referee is not happy with the challenge by Carragher and brings him across, has a word with him. It was a bit off the ball really. Brunt won the header. Carragher tried to get at the pitch, couldn't get there, and connected with McLean. Free kick to Wrexham then, about 40 yards out from our own goal, and Brunt stands it up looking to turn the defence. He's put it right in behind him and out for a goal kick. So Carragher, son of Jamie, I only realised yesterday, Maltese international. That one caught me out, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, I think he only made his debut for him in the last international break, but fair play, you can get called up from any national team. I think that's a real achievement. So shows his quality. He's been here a long time, I think, involved in their academy. I think he was at Liverpool's academy when he was a bit younger. I wonder why that was, but you know, a real decent player at the back for Wigan so far this season. Has been really important for him.
And he's on the right hand side. I was wondering with those changes whether there be a change of shape, and it looks like a back four with him on the right as Wrexham throw down the flank. Carragher gets it headed clear. McLean gets a foot in as well to work it backwards to Brunt, who rather shanks the ball forwards. It's a really scrappy start this. Rathbone wins a header, but it's head tennis between the two teams over the halfway line until eventually it nicely brought down by Wigan, but then Wrexham win it back and it's prodded forwards. Rodriguez, nice idea looking for Smith. He's still got something to score. Poor touch by Aimson, but he gets it back to the keeper. And Wrexham win it back straight away. Ball prodded accurately by Dobson. Rathbone, as ever, covering lots of ground. Feeds in Brunt, who drives down the left flank. McLean now with two men on him, back to Brunt. Wrexham looking to be snappy. If it's a nicely watered pitch, let's get that ball moving. It's O'Connell now. On his right foot, Dobson makes a little run inside. That frees up a channel for Cleworth to surge into. And he's 40 yards out, pulls it back to Dobson. Wrexham forcing Wigan deep. The ball over the top is over ambitious by Matty James, but I like that bit of movement, moving them around and then looking for the spaces. Final ball wasn't right, but the build-up was.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Rathbone was the out, wasn't he? If they could have got, Matty James could have come and switched it. He was in half a space, because what we did, we went from one side to the other side. The whole midfield three went across, and Rathbone just held his ground, so he was in a lot of space. And if the pass hadn't gone forward, he could have come out and just done it one more time. We had a lot of room out this side. I think they are a three at the back. I just think Dale is really advanced. They're looking to try and pin McLean in and not let him get up the pitch, which is what we've done so well in this season, is have the two wing backs right up the pitch.
As Wrexham tries to get forwards, throwing goes Wigan's way in their own half. Yeah, certainly he's Carragher's really getting up and into McLean's grill as well. As here he is with a throw-in, 30 yards out from his own goal. Ref says you should be a bit closer to your own goal when you take this. He still charges forwards and hurls it down the line. O'Connell's under it, heads it to McLean, helping it on. Carragher again. Good touch in the middle of the pitch by James to tame that ball. Find Rathbone, he finds Dobson, and it's quickly out to the right. Oh, he's sold Longman short, and now there's a chance of a breakaway. As down the left-hand side, the ball is swept in the box. Matty James did well, covered and clears, and Longman's brought that down well. And as he cuts inside, Wrexham can try and break. Rathbone pulls it back. Hard work from Wigan to try and close things down. And Wrexham once more can just slow it down. That noise from the away end, fantastic.
I think some of them were here last night. Yeah. They're just sat in their seats waiting for this one.
And they've made such a noise so early as well, didn't they? You know, good 45 minutes for
an hour they were singing, and the lads that aren't involved in the squad, they were running around giving them a little bit of a round of applause too.
Yeah, Ashfield and Evans were just jogging across
every lap. Yeah. They got a cheer.
Wrexham have been patient, moving it around. James in the middle of the pitch. So Wrexham work it about. Rathbone's again found space when Wigan's midfield steps across there, leaving a bit of a gap for the wide centre mid for Wrexham. They press well then. Asamoah forcing Rathbone backwards, and the ball over the top again. Overhit by O'Connell, but you know, we're clearly looking to do that. We're moving it around, drawing them out, and then trying to dink it over the top.
Yeah, and you can see, going back to what Andy said, getting really tight on James McLean, but that does leave, like you touched on, Mark, that bit of space for someone like Ollie Rathbone or even Lewis Brunt to get into that space. Use James McLean as a bit of a decoy and try and get them two on the ball as much as we can.
Long high clearance by Cleworth deep into the Wigan half, and in the end it's controlled. The back pass isn't the best. Smith will be beaten to it. Oh, but he's hit it straight to Rodriguez, and of course Smith is offside when Rodriguez jabs it forwards. But it was a horrible moment for Wigan then. They could easily have been caught out by that poor clearance. Wasn't the best back pass by Mellish either.
No, Sam Tickle hasn't started this game as he probably would have liked to, but like you say, it's a bit of a hospital pass back from Mellish. Just bounces in front of him, just tries to get his foot through it, goes straight to Jay Rodriguez, who obviously isn't expecting it. It's a really difficult one to control anyway, but early warning signs for Wigan.
Long kick to the right flank. Carragher trying to get, there's loads of pinning. Yeah, the ref had to give that. Matty James and Lewis Brunt. It was like a corner. They just had two players pinning them so Carragher could win it, and the ref spotted it, which is a good sign for Wrexham. If they've set themselves up to do that from kicks from deep, well, great. They're not going to get away with it, you'd hope. Long ball forwards, and Rathbone wins the second ball on the flank. Smith's asking for it. There's not much else in the box. He pulls it back to the corner of the area. Rodriguez keeps it moving. Matty James shapes the switch, then pulls it to the left and gets his pass wrong. That was a simple ball, and he tried to be a bit too cute. That's a shame because we had them penned in the box.
Yeah, it was a nice little body fake from Matty James initially. I just thought, could he get that ball out of his feet a little bit quicker? I think he just delays, and then that means Ollie Rathbone slightly on his heels, not like him, but just gets that pass a little bit wrong, just puts it too far in front of him.
Just thinking, could he have a point man come out and lit on the edge of the box just to go and feed off, play somebody in, and then maybe Dobson get off the front of them. We don't have it, and it's just a little softly given away.
It's a great touch that by Rodriguez and Ian Rathbone combined well, but Wigan stick to their task, putting pressure on, and Wrexham go back into their own half once more. But Wrexham dominating possession here. Now then, little give and go, and it's a nice return ball by Dobson. Longman on the right hand side is tracked well, but he cuts inside well. In turn, James keeps the ball moving, and now Wrexham have Dobson shaping to cross, but drilling it inside. There's lots of space in midfield. Rathbone urged on, gets the pass wrong for McLean, and now it's a breakaway down the right hand side. The ball fed in to the feet of Asamoah, but Matty James is back again, and Wrexham tidy it once more.
Yeah, you can just see the two wing backs of Wigan are really positive in their first approach, so they're not going to give McLean or Longman any chance. They're going to go straight out to the ball as quickly as they can. It's twice that both sides have been picked off from a pass from Rathbone, but if you can get them out, then it's 1v1.
Tempter into the box, and Tickle nearly misjudged it again, that big bounce, and he beat Smith to it. Just nearly went over his head. He had to grab it. The second attempt is cute idea then by Dale on the right flank, dummies and tries to get around the back of Brunt, but the ball goes straight out of play. But yeah, Tickle's having a really edgy time. There's two mishandles where he's misjudged a bounce and a bad kick. Surprising, but well, maybe we need to, if he is actually rattled, let's get at him. Throw down the line, Rodriguez wins it well. McLean is beaten to it. James hooks the ball clear. Taylor now, but again Mellish losing the ball a bit sloppily to Longman. Wrexham really look at it here. At 9 minutes so far, no chances created, but Wrexham most certainly making the play. As here now comes Cleworth over the halfway, and they're backing off, and Cleworth carries it forwards. Longman's made a run. Cleworth jinks it over the top for Longman, who hits the goal line. It's a good recovery, but he's held on to the ball. Robinson sticks to him. Cleworth now shapes the cross, pulls it inside to the corner of the box. James back outside to Cleworth. Right-footed cross is flat to the near post and hacked away to the halfway line by Aimson. Wrexham pick it up again. Cleworth down the line. This is good passing. Longman under pressure. Back to Cleworth. He's just gone out of play. But they are dropping off deep, and we're certainly penning them in, aren't we?
Yeah, it's that switch of play. If we can do that through the back three and out the other side, I think Longman has the better of Robinson out on that side, so we need to play. Can we get him in behind it? Can we get him 1v1 as much as we can to start with? And then can he get the ball in the box?
Throwing to Wigan in their own half, left-hand side. Again, they pinch a few yards, getting down the line. The ball's headed clear. Drops loose, Longman over the top. Smith chasing after that. Carragher underneath it, heads it into midfield. He's maybe a little lucky. Adiko is there. And Rathbone scented blood in the water when the ball went back to Tickle, but the keeper launched that away with good distance. Aimson now at the back as Wigan's back three look to move it around. Adiko, who is sitting in front of the back three, sweeps it to Carragher. Out to the wing back, Dale. Good pressure by Brunt. He's unlucky, he's been penalised. Parkinson's astounded and turns to the fourth official. It's pantomime season every game, and with Phil. Harsh free kick.
Well, he did slip, but maybe just Brunt caught him just after the ball had gone. As he slipped, he managed to tow it past him, and if Brunt had managed to get a touch, again, it's been another part of Wrexham in the last few weeks of the way that they've pressed the back three of teams, because McLean is going straight out. He's the one that goes and presses it, that one of the threes, and Brunt's got to be brave behind it and come out to the wing back.
Rathbone looking for McLean. There was a lovely combination between the two, and Dobson nearly latches on and wins it high up the pitch. Wigan, in trying to pass the way out of trouble, they put it out for a throw level the edge of the area. Rodriguez quickly back into midfield. Brunt hooks it instantly to O'Connell, and the ball's bounced awkwardly. He'll have to go back to Okonkwo.
Yeah, Wrexham have had some really nice little bits of possession though inside, just some little 1-2s between the midfield and those out wide. Just again there, Jay Rodriguez dropping in, gets that lovely little chest touch, and then James McLean and Ollie Rathbone, like you say, really nice little combination between them two.
James dinking over the top, has a good ball for Smith, left channel, forced wide, flag goes up. I don't know, it looked like he timed it for me, but maybe he'd just gone too soon.
Good rotation in the centre of midfield. Dobson coming to the ball, being the one that takes it in. So we're 3 for 3 in the middle of the pitch, and they're going to have to stick with their men if they're on our rotations. But really good quick free kick, hand on it. James getting the tempo going, then played in behind. Sam Smith just maybe a yard, but it was tight.
Yeah, just got a glimpse of it in real time, and it is very tight. So free kick, Tickle launches with distance. O'Connell wins a good header against Asamoah. Ball drops loose, so Asamoah does well to get there first and feed it over to Robinson on the left. Stabs it down the line. First time really Wigan have had the ball in Wrexham's half, and it doesn't last long because Longman tracks back well, and Asamoah goes down much too easily. Wrexham knock it long. Smith up front. Terrific header that. Couldn't quite pick out Rodriguez. He got up well. He was going up Adiko like a stepladder. Ball worked out to the left hand side. Asamoah again is held up well by Longman. Ryan Lowe, the Wigan manager down underneath us, is going nuts as the ball is fed down the channel. That's a good ball for Taylor, who's got the pace, gets past O'Connell, and O'Connell recovers really well, puts it behind for the corner, but Taylor's done brilliantly for them alone from Forest, and that was threatening.
Yeah, he's been such an important player for him, especially since they lost Asgard, and he does really well. There's a really bright little run just to get ahead of O'Connell, pulls him in and takes him back out again. But Owen O'Connell, like you say, recovers really well, gets that foot in there, makes sure he doesn't give away anything silly as well.
So corner, Wigan's first real spell where they've asked questions of Wrexham. There's a crowd in front of Okonkwo, and then 3 players getting picked up around the penalty spot. 2 more on the edge waiting to make runs. Ball swept into a decent area. Good firm header, clear by Rodriguez, who's made a bright start to this game. And then a ball down the line, not the worst idea, but Cleworth goes to ground, makes a good challenge, throw into Wigan 20 yards out on the left flank.
Yeah, really good header by Rodriguez from the corner. He's the one that's in that space. He goes and attacks it. Good clearance, good distance with it. Yeah, just going back to that Dale Taylor movement, a couple of steps towards the ball, brings O'Connell in with him to then drop out.
Cross comes in, headed away comfortably by Brunt, and now it's Carragher put under pressure by Rathbone. We're going to have to go back to the halfway line. Ball fed forwards, and Weir in the end struggled to control it, managed to win a throw off Dobson. I don't think it's the worst thing to let Wigan have a little bit of possession so we can maybe hit them on the transition, because they're clearly quick to drop into a pretty low block once they lose the ball.
Yeah, and we saw that last week, didn't we, against Burton, where we were just really struggling really to make any sort of real chance when Burton went into that low block, obviously really early on after the sending off, and then the earliest chances really came from when they stepped forward a little bit and we were able to go a bit more direct, a bit more longer on that counter.
Now then, ball given away by Dobson. Danger here as Dale breaks down the right, running up Brunt, goes round the outside. Brunt sticks with him, stops the cross from coming in, and then it's a challenge by Rathbone, which he just about avoids giving a free kick away. Throw goes Wrexham's way. When Rathbone came barrelling in like that, I was really worried he was going to nick him just as he entered the box, but luckily he threw the brakes on and McLean helped him out as well.
Yeah, really good 1v1 by Brunt, because he doesn't dive in, and what he does, he gives himself a yard, doesn't dive and wait and sell himself. He waits for the touch past him, and then he's able to give himself a yard and catch him up and block.
From the throw-in, it goes out for a Wigan throw, about 35 yards out on the right. Carragher will take. And Wigan just having a decent little spell here as Rathbone wins the ball back from a poor touch by Weir. Brunt scooping it down the line. Carragher beats McLean to it, and then Dale, who's looking very lively, goes accelerating through the middle. The ref says not a foul by Rodriguez as he tracked back. It was body to body, and I can see the referee, if he's not going to be whistle happy, saying yeah, that's physical contact, you're allowed to have that. Wrexham moving it around at the back. Matty James splitting the centre backs, trying to get involved. Wrexham just need a little spell to get back on top, as we were for the first 10 minutes. Longman over the top, Smith on the chase. Again, Tickle will get there first. Doesn't bounce over his head this time.
Well, it's just skidding through. Every time we try and put a ball through, once it bounces, it's done. Sam Smith done. He can't get to the ball. We've just got to make either an extra pass before it goes into Smith. But it really looks lively, doesn't it? The pitch, the ball's bouncing up. It looks quite hard, quite firm, but with the added water skidding around, it makes it really difficult.
And possibly counteract our desire to play those balls in early for those Smith running over the top. As there's another break by Wigan, shooting opportunity, but a great block by O'Connell. The ball drops loose again though, half clears, shot comes in, blocked. Nasty scramble that. It was a great burst by Mellish. In the end, it's put out of play for a throw to Wigan 10 yards out. We hear the Wigan fans for the first time, but well, bodies on the line then to keep us from going behind. It was some gutsy defending.
Yeah, some really big blocks in there. I think the first one, O'Connell does really well to recover, because again, it just gets pulled out a bit too easily. Mellish has made a really good run inside, just drives. They've had a fair bit of joy so far in this game on that left-hand side. But then, like you say, bodies in front, and Wrexham do well to defend it.
Wigan cross comes in from the throw, but Okonkwo's right behind that and isn't going to rush to play it long, like Andy said, with the ball hurrying on. Probably not wise to knock it long. He will do now. The players up the pitch and stands it up. He's looking for Smith, but he's put it onto Ameson's head. Poor header right up in the air. Smith challenges, creates a loose ball, and Mellish just lashes it away. So just get a bit more accurate with our passing to Smith when he's trying to make those runs. We need to get him involved in this.
Yeah, well, two strikers are over this side of the pitch, and Okonkwo kicks it on the third one that's not got a man in it. Frustrating.
Now here's Hassan-Moore, and he's got a chance to run now at O'Connell. Little step over, cuts inside, curls it just wide. Great effort by Hassan-Moore, and Wigan, well, last 5-6 minutes have looked genuinely good, haven't they?
Yeah, Wrexham just don't quite step up quick enough on the turnover when Wigan win it back. And then Hassan-Moore has got all sorts of room in that little bit of space. He does well actually to get the shot off, because Wrexham do in the end get men back behind the ball. Just a nice little step over, just can't wrap it round in towards that goal.
Well, Wigan have just grown into this game. The last 10 minutes they've certainly got their press a little bit better, and then when they've had the ball they've looked really dangerous down there left hand side. Just need to iron out a few changes. We need to get a hold of the ball again and start moving and passing and seeing if we can open up some. It's the wing backs for me. They're getting the other side of Longman, and they're just outrunning our centre mids at the moment.
The Wrexham have it now at the back with O'Connell. Cleworth, who's covered inside O'Connell for the moment, back to the Irishman. 20 minutes gone, and the two 10-minute periods so far have been really contrasting as Smith fights in the air, can't win it. Ooh, awkward defending, not a handball on the edge of the box. Ref doesn't give it. It was a sloppy piece of work in the middle there by Kerr as Wigan win it back and go driving forwards. Kerr, they're feeding it across, a return pass is overhead. O'Connell reads that well and just about stops it, going for the corner, throw to Wigan. The pressure continues.
Well, Wigan are just being really brave with the front four, because they're just going, once on that transition, they're just leaving their midfielders and getting past that front man, causing all sorts of problems. 4 or 5 runners going past the ball.
So throw, level the edge of the area. Aimson in. And Weir has to go back to Kerr, who can quickly switch to Carragher in a bit of space. Rodriguez has stepped out. And Dale delivers from wide and deep. Okonkwo starts to come, realises he can't make it, headed away by Cleworth. But Wrexham boxed in now. Mellish feeding it back. Long range shot is a spectacular one, and Okonkwo gets down. I think he had it covered, but it really zipped off that turf again. Ambitious by Aimson, nearly hit the target.
Yeah, it's a good strike. It's a good initial header away by Max Cleworth. And then Wigan just keep hold of it, sees that space. It's from miles out. Should never be able to score from there, really. But Arthur has it covered.
Great hit, wasn't it? Oh, a really clean strike. Yeah, you would be asking questions of Arthur if he got past him from that range, but having said that, yeah, that was moving, that was.
It just bounces in front of him as well, I think. Makes it a bit more difficult, but does well.
As Aimson doing what he expects him to do, beating Smith in the air. Longman trying to use his pace to get past his man, but he doesn't manage to do so. It was solid work in the middle of the pitch by Robinson. And here is Aimson rolling it forwards, edge of the Wigan area. Tickle hurries again as Rathbone is chasing after him every time the ball goes back now. Aimson just checks out nicely to make a bit of space for himself. The entire Wigan bench are pointing at the switch to Dale, but Wrexham have stepped up and are blocking the passing channels, forcing in the end Tickle to go long. Turns Wrexham's defence mind. O'Connell brings it down, drives it clear into the Wigan half. Not a good pass. We're lucky that a poor touch allows Longman to get the ball back and win a throw. But yeah, that's what we weren't doing, wasn't it, in the early stages? Just thrashing the ball back at them. O'Connell's better than that, and we need to get that ball down and move it around a bit more constructively.
Yeah, especially because we do really well initially to stop Wigan from actually playing out. It's a really good press by those further forward. And then I think O'Connell maybe just panics a little bit, thinks he's being pressed a bit quicker than maybe he is, can't take it down as he would have liked to.
The ball is touched round the corner and maybe Asamoah can break here. Brunt manages to block as Asamoah tries to use his pace to get past him. They're having a real scrap there, and Brunt, I think, pulled his shirt down. Yeah, the ref did well. He saw if there's an advantage when there wasn't. He's given the free kick on the right flank. But Asamoah loves running the channels, isn't he? He's really testing Brunt, who so far has done pretty well.
Yeah, there's been some really good battles already in this game, though, hasn't there? That could be a real good one to watch. Brunt does well in the first part of it, reads it well, gets that block in initially. Then Asamoah, to be fair to him, gets his body in front.
So a free kick, right hand side. Dale will take it. On loan from Oxford. He's got all bar 2 players up in the box. Referee's just making sure he's happy with the situation in the area. Wrexham holding a line on the edge of the box. Dale signals, stands it in with height to the far side of the box. It's headed in to the middle of the area, but Okonkwo quickly comes to gather the loose ball. Smith has gone and Okonkwo releases early. Smith, clear foul by Smith on his man. Referee, I thought, signalled to say, let's see where it goes, but he has let Wrexham keep the ball. Rodriguez can't quite get there in midfield. McLean is clattered into by Mellish. Free kick. Ryan Lowe turns around dramatically and puts this palm of his hand to his forehead in astonishment, but he cut McLean in half.
Yeah, he did, but you see the bounce on the ball when McLean's taking his touch. It bounces so high. You've got to wait for that to come in. Mellish comes in strong. Yeah, I just think he does catch him before he gets the ball. He
tag teamed. He sent one of his coaches to have a go at the fourth official so he doesn't get in trouble. as James tries to win the ball back in midfield. In the end, good tackle by Rathbone and Adiko, but Wrexham really struggling to get the ball down in the Wigan half at the moment. O'Connell looks over his shoulder, then drives through the middle. Dobson trying to backpedal, and O'Connell, with Dobson in his way, comes forwards and finds Rodriguez. Nice ball around the corner by him. Smith is well tackled by Aimson. And now Wrexham again looking to press in the Wigan half and close them in. Aimson on the edge of his area, shifts it on quickly, and now they have found some space. It's dinked down the right channel. Asamoah again, this time looking to take on O'Connell, flicks it beyond him, and O'Connell has got to put it behind for another corner. His pace is dangerous, and Brunt's quick enough to keep up with him. O'Connell's no slouch, but yeah, Asamoah's going to beat him if he gets around the side of him like that.
Well, I think that's probably something that Ryan Lowe has seen in this Wrexham team. He knows that McLean's going to go on, Brunt's going to come out to Dale, but then there's the big space behind, and we've got to make sure that O'Connell does come across and fill that. Max comes across and sort of makes a back two, if you like, in the back there, and at the moment they're just flipping it down the sides, and O'Connell's in a race, and it's not exactly where you want him.
So Dale on the corner, plays it short down the goal line. Attempted backheel back to him, doesn't come off at all, but Wigan do keep the ball. Longman is out to try and pressure, but it's shifted on quickly by Robinson, and then again in his space on the left for a cross here. Ball fed in the goal mouth. O'Connell does well, hacks it away at his near post. It'll be kept in. Weir, 25 yards out on the left, just lays it backwards. Wrexham step out of the box. And Wrexham looking to press and put pressure on in midfield. It's a good pressure as well by Dobson, forcing in the end a back pass. Heavy touch by Tickle. Smith was interested, but he's got rid of it and knocked it through to Okonkwo. I don't know what's going on with Tickle, but it just...
Your voice, every time it goes back to him, it's either bouncing over his head or his touch isn't quite spot on. But he sort of gives you a bit of hope, doesn't he? Like if you're a striker, you think, I'm just going to close him down every time that the ball goes back to him and hope that he spills one.
He's giving me a tickle, I can tell you that for nothing. Long ball, Smith edge of the area, jumps, flicks it on well, but it'll bounce through. Tickle gets across and stops it from going behind for the goal kick. I think he must have thought it flicked off a defender. I'm not convinced it did. Still 0-0 at Wickham as well. As the Wigan keeper on the edge of his area hits it left-footed, looking on for Dale, who Brunt gets up really well to beat him. McLean on the halfway and hooks it forward. Smith will chase after that, and there's a bit of confusion. Smith nearly got in there. Oh, deja vu. It was so close to the Burton penalty incident, except unlike Crocombe, Tickle actually decisively came and took the ball. Apart from that, it was pretty much identical. Smith nearly nipped in ahead of him. Now it's a good ball by Adiko. Taylor holding it up 20 yards out, squares it. Asamoah doesn't quite take it with him, or he had the chance to shoot. It's a great ball by him to Dale, though. McLean has managed to get back to cover. Dale swings to the far post. Okonkwo comes, takes that easily. Smith is the only player up front, and although the Wrexham fans sound like they want him to play as early, I think he's wise not to. Free at the back and the ball that's skidding through.
Well, the movement of the front two is really good. You know, one's coming to the ball and the other one's going spinning in behind. And we're a Wrexham 3, if we're man for man, we've got to go right in with them. We've got to be brave on that. But then that obviously leaves space in behind. So you just got to be trustworthy of your other mate, and that he's going to get you and keep with his man and hold him up.
Wrexham move around nicely from the back to find a bit of space for Brunt, but Dale, again using his pace, closes him down. And so Wrexham have O'Connell playing the diagonal. Well, Rathbone made a nice run, but Taylor managed to get his head to it. Well won back by Rodriguez. As the ball is carried down the left-hand side, Brunt's got a bit of space here. As Dale backs off, Brunt finds McLean, level the edge of the area. On his left foot, back into his right, rips in, it was dangerous intent. Rodriguez can't get a proper contact on it, skids over the bar off his head for the goal kick. Nice to see us in their half, though.
Yeah, and you can see what James McLean's doing, just trying to whip it in, and it's really difficult for Jay Rodriguez. The closer you are to it, makes it that little bit more difficult. He wants really on that sort of ball someone in at the back post just to sort of nod it home. But you can see what he's going for, just to get the deftest of touches and just hope that takes it away from Sam Tickle. Yeah,
you're just looking to help that on, just get the slightest of flicks on it. but he just gets a bit too much on it. It goes straight up and over the bar.
Now, the game's been stopped and the teams have come over to the sides of the pitch, so not quite sure what's going on here. Tickle had the ball. The Wrexham fans were making some noise. I don't know if they were trying to point something out or not, because I certainly don't think Tickle was time wasting. And I don't know, we'll have to see what's going on. So the other game, the Wycombe game, no score in that as of yet. And this tense battle between us and Wycombe in order to try and see if we can who can take that second automatic spot. And so the two teams here that are looking at Ask Wrexham. Chris Malika saying, I really need Stevenage to step up today. Well, if only they could play like they did against us, that would be great, because they played very well at the Stoke Kairos, and they played well too when they beat us at Stevenage. It's a sort of derby, they're an hour apart, as the players are going back onto the pitch.
Is that like a timeout? Take your time out. Do we get 1.5? I don't know.
I think something's happened in the crowd, definitely, but it seems, thankfully, not the same as what happened at Wycombe, I would assume, because it looks like we are going to resume after a brief pause. There's been a bit of movement in the crowd amongst stewards, and well, thankfully we're able to get cracking again. Long goal kick by Tickle. Brunt wins that well. Smith chests it on, headed clear. Awkward for Dobson, he hooks one wide. Robson does well, he beats Longman to it, and now Cleworth is put under pressure and does well, has to go to ground again as Taylor threatened to burst past him. Throw to Wigan, 25 yards out. It'll be taken by Aimson on the left flank. Yeah, Todd and Ask Wrexham, this is making me too nervous, more than it should be. The Wigan are certainly showing a more attacking intent than I thought they might, if I'm honest. As the throw-in comes nothing, Rodriguez hooks it clear, headed back in again by Kerr. Cleworth heads it forwards, and again Wrexham in danger of getting penned in here, but ahead 10 is 30 yards out from our goal. They allow enough room for the ball to be brought down by Taylor. In the end, good challenge comes in by James. Rodriguez knocks it long, Smith attacking that, and Kerr did well to judge that, as he had to let it bounce and Smith was after it, just beat him to it. And now Aimson feeds it down the line. Dale back to Carragher. 34th minute, still 0-0. The ball picks up on the left by Aimson, who approaches the halfway line. Dale is asking for the switch. Ball's helped down the line instead. Longman keeps tight on Robinson. Ball forced back to the halfway line. Wrexham holding a line about 25 yards out. Adiko feeds it backwards. We're going to have to start again. Rathbone sprinting up the pitch to make sure the pass to Carragher isn't on. And now we'll put pressure on Carragher. Wrexham stepping up and putting bit better pressure on the ball. Good foot in by Rathbone on Mellish and Rodriguez, but it falls to Carragher. And that's better. Wrexham not letting Wigan pass through our midfield and find those quick players down the sides. They look for a diagonal and give it away. Brunt brings it down. That's much better from Wrexham out of possession. Brunt though over the top pounds it straight to the keeper, and you can hear the frustration of the Wrexham fans, and rightly, when we're getting the ball. It needs to be a lot more constructive than that.
Yeah, there was a bit of frustration among us three as well, I think, there, because Wigan keep hold of it for a good little period of time. We win it back from a poor over-the-top ball from Wigan, and Lewis Brunt straight away looking up, but it doesn't get that ball right at all. Can we just hold on to it?
Well, it's given away to us now. O'Connell, good ball to Smith, 25 yards out. Great tackle by Aimson. Started the game brilliantly, and it's fallen to Taylor. Asamoah running ahead of him. He goes wide instead to Dale. He's got men over here, including at the far post. Oh, it's a clear handball by Brunt. Free kick right on the corner of the box. He's complaining, but well, the way I saw it, his arm's up in the air. He's trying to say it's his shoulder, not his arm.
Yeah, the arms definitely go up, don't they? I wasn't sure if it did actually hit them, or whether it hit his back, the way he sort of jumped into it. But you always take a risk as soon as they go up. I mean, I couldn't really tell you the rules at the moment because they seem like they change pretty frequently. But dangerous area for Wigan, this.
To illustrate, he's rolled his sleeve up into his armpit.
So I thought it was the sleeve, and then is it the tattoo?
Yeah. yeah. To be fair, looking at that, I think it is under his arm, his armpit. I think the second angle isn't very helpful. The first one, I mean, to be honest, you throw your arm up like that, you're making the ref see it.
Yeah, I agree. But the ball, we played a great ball into Sam Smith, a little reverse, and he takes his touch, and that's when we need people off the front of him just to set and then go out wide, and he's just waiting for that movement, and it's a little bit slow.
Here's Dale's free kick to the far post, good one as well, nodded into the goalmouth. Dobson gets first contact, headed clear, well done Rodriguez, and then hacked away by Longman. Smith puts pressure on Deco, and it goes back in the end into the Wigan half. Yeah, you're saying about lack of options, Smith waiting for someone to make a run for him, whereas when the ball was played forwards to Taylor in the build-up for that free kick, Dale is immediately going down the side, making the run that we want to see from Longman or Dobson. As here now is a decoy in midfield. Wrexham got their mid-block shape. Carragher on the right. But the longer the half has gone on, the better and better Wigan have looked. Carragher now. No pressure on the ball at the moment. There's Weir, who's dropped off onto the right, just joining in with the centre-backs as they move it around. Ball driven over the top, and that's Asamoah's pace allows him to get in there and muscle Brunt off the ball, pulls it back to the edge of the area. Dale, his first touch takes him wide, he works it back. Weir puts a real swinger into the far post. Longman controls it well. James though launches it away, throwing to Wigan on the halfway line.
Yeah, we just look a little bit chaotic at times when we do get on the ball. You just want someone to just get a hold of it. That's why you do look at someone like Matty James in that position. I know he's, relatively deep.
The long ball forwards, which Okonkwo takes comfortably. I'm not totally convinced O'Connell and Brunt between them knew where Asamoah was then, if that pass had a little bit less on it.
No, those front two have been really lively so far for Wigan, causing our back three a number of problems. I'm sure that's something that will be addressed at half-time, but I think Ryan Lowe will be much the happier manager going in. Wigan have created a few, half-decent chances in this first half, whereas Wrexham can't think of many after what was quite a positive start, possession-wise.
Yeah, I was enjoying myself after 10 minutes. Matty James lifting it down the flank again, over hits, and the Wrexham fans, you can hear, are really getting frustrated and annoyed. Wrexham persisting by knocking balls over the top, and we're consistently over-hitting them. As here is Brunt stepping up. Dale, great feet, manages to hold off the pressure, finds Adiko. Adiko runs into trouble, plays it to Parkinson. Good touch by Parkinson. He's quickly got it up to McLean, but he's not going to take it. Brunt takes instead. On the halfway line, left-hand side. Still no goals here. 39th minute. Brunt down the line. Rodriguez wrestling with Carragher. Had a big handful of Rodriguez's shirt. And at the end goes back to Okonkwo, left-footed, slices it a bit, and it'll go out for the throw. Dale will leave it for Carragher.
Yeah, we've just lost our composure a little bit here, a little bit of talking between everybody, sort of looking around going, who's meant to be doing what job at the moment? We're not really in sync with each other, especially when we've got the ball. We just look all a little bit at sea.
Throw in, and Asamoah can't get to that. Brunt though launches it clear, high in the air. Smith fights for it, does well to get first contact, doesn't get the free kick from Carragher. And again, I remember the good old days when I was talking about us dominating possession, but Wigan again a first to the loose ball and moving it around. It's Tickle drilling it long and flat, and O'Connell has to win that, which he does. Clough on the turn, hooks it forwards, the bounce out, that gives Smith something to chase, but he really is looking isolated up front. Wrexham trying to press in midfield, but a bypass quite nicely as Little turn by Weir allows him to work it wide, and then Robinson cutting inside Longman. Longman sticks to him though. Ball back to Aimson, who surges past Longman down the left, helps it on. Robinson back to Aimson. Wrexham now holding a line on the edge of the Wrexham area as Wigan deliver to the far post. Okonkwo again takes that comfortably. The good thing for us thus far is their crossing's been poor, as Okonkwo releases McLean immediately. He's got a run down the line by Rodriguez, plays it inside for James under pressure. He's got to pop it straight back to him. The way our long passing's been going though, despite the fans urging McLean to play that long ball down the line for Rodriguez, I think I'm quite happy for us to move it around a bit and try and remind ourselves of what we were doing in the opening minutes.
Yeah, and the long ball's something we've used a lot this season. It's been very successful for us, but to do it you've got to have the runners, and at times we've made it. Sam Smith or Jay Rodriguez haven't actually been on their bike. Really good tackle out by Robinson.
Yeah, it was a nice move. Wrexham passing through the thirds beautifully, but then when Longman tried to beat Robinson, great tackle. Now Rathbone, great touch, takes it past his man, accelerating forwards. McLean's outside him. Will he play him in? Yes, he does. 3 players attacking the far post. Rathbone waits for the pullback. McLean stands it up. Longman's there, nods it down, edge of the area. Dobson hits the shots just wide, unlucky. Sliced it a bit, but much more like it from Wrexham.
Or somebody taking a grip of the ball and going past somebody. Great first touch by Rathbone, just opens up a big space. Instead of trying to move it a little bit quicker, he was just really decisive in his movement. Then McLean to the back post. We've got 2 players on the edge of the box. Just again, it sits up, doesn't it? And we're not able to take our touch down. And then Dobson's waiting for it, hence why it goes up in the air, because he's got to take it a little bit earlier. But a little bit better from Wrexham.
Yeah, it certainly was. We need to keep going with that. And a much better couple of minutes. Started off with, like I said, McLean deciding not to go over the top, as O'Connell comes up a long way, wins the header and finds Longman. Now then Longman on the right, another chance to win at Robinson, who just made that superb tackle on him. Longman carries the ball forwards, lets Dobson then take over. Cleworth now 35 yards out. Longman up against Robinson, cuts inside, back to Dobson. Cleworth is out wide. Longman's come inside now. Cleworth back into his own half. O'Connell. McLean is waiting out on the left if Wrexham can switch play. Cleworth chips over the top, looking for Smith. Oh, miss header, and Smith is chasing this, but Aimson covers well. Nods it back to his keeper. Kerr came across. Wigan thought he was pushing it back. Ref didn't. But again, Smith fighting for that ball, and there was nobody else gambling off him. So the second ball was dealt with pretty comfortably.
Yeah, he's had a few of them, Sam Smith, where he's just put the pressure on and just caught a few of them Wigan defenders just in their eye line. They've just ended up getting that header a bit wrong, but to be fair to them, on each one of them they've recovered well.
Oh, Rathbone took a whack to the head there. The ref's given the free kick. I mean, I feel I want to see that again now, because to me that looks accidental. I mean, the ref blew straight away. If it wasn't, then Adiko's lucky not to get a punishment. It's a heavy contact, wasn't it?
Yeah, fair play to Wally Rathbone as well. Bounces straight back up, doesn't he?
Heavy contact, took Adiko's headband off, it seems. Free kick taken by O'Connell. It's a good ball to McLean, left hand side, cuts inside his man nicely. And then the ball's worked inside for Matty James. O'Connell on the centre circle, pings that diagonal again. And McLean is frustrated as it goes behind him and out for the throw.
Yeah, just our long passing today so far has been way off where it normally is.
The fourth official is about to show us how long is going to be played as added time. Should be a fair amount as we stop the game momentarily. Remember, you can go over to Wrexham's YouTube channel and hear what Andy and Mia think with Chris Malaband on Matchday Live, or you can stick with me and I'll go through some Arse Wrexham stuff. It's Cleworth now, gets it from Longman, a good run down the flank by Longman, inviting a return pass. He receives it. 2 minutes, okay. Longman does well to hold off the pressure, and Wrexham are finishing the half better than they've looked for the last half hour or so. We're forced back into our own half. O'Connell now has a look up, doesn't play anything forwards. Wrexham again looking to pull Wigan out. They come back in the end to a Conquo. Brunt is available.
Well, Wigan have done well. They've worked it out. They've just gone Weir on Matty James, and then 2 for 2 behind them. But what Adika's doing is he's staying in the middle, so he's not letting Rodriguez get on the ball either. So we've got to work it out. We've got to find that fourth player. Once Rodriguez drops in, we've got a man left over. So can we find that spare man and quickly to get them on the half turn, and then we can play forward?
Yeah, as Rodriguez is penalised for backing in. Yeah. Or I suppose alternately, if they're picking us up man for man, essentially, do what Rathbone did, beat your man, and then all of a sudden there's a problem. Free kick then, Tickle will take. We've had 1 of the 2 added minutes. Owens O'Connell's touchback came up on the screen there to show he is a centre-back. The ball not long, headed away. And now it's Longman trying to scrap for it. Ball chipped into the box, and O'Connell under pressure does well just to step across Taylor. Our Conquo to come up and take control. 35 seconds left of added time. And it's been, after a bright start, a scrap for Wrexham. They need to get in and press the reset button. Okonkwo, huge kick that. Aimson backpedals, heads it partly clear. Rathbone scrapping with a deco, creates a loose ball. Wigan do well to win it back, but that's good work by Rathbone and Matty James just to fight and get the chance maybe to put one last ball into Wigan's box. McLean put under a lot of pressure, does well to feed it halfway, and O'Connell looking for Smith through the middle. He gets up well. The header clearance falls to Dobson, carries at the edge of the area, works it wide. McLean with 3 men again at the far post to Waymat, takes on his man, drills a flat one in. Adiko heads it clear, and the ref says, right, that's enough. It's half time, 0-0 at half time. And the Wigan fans, might have been hard to hear at the start of the game, but I can assure you can hear them now. They're delighted with the way that they've come into that match. So like I said, Andy and Mia now are on their way down to the side of the pitch, where they will be chatting to Chris Malaband about the first half. You can watch them on Wrexham's YouTube channel. I'll work through your Ask Wrexham questions on Blue Sky and Twitter. Apply some pressure and stay with him as he plays the ball. I mean, he's a good keeper. That's the weird bit of it. And yet, yeah, that he's handling with those balls skidding on. Well, the wet pitch seems to have caught him out, doesn't it? And he's had one scary kick too. So yeah, let's see how that develops. We'll watch that space. Now, Vic Schutz knows me too well. At the half, talk to us about the quality of the local pies, please. Now then, if you saw Final Whistle Weekly this week, you will have heard us talking about the fact that Wigan is famous for its pies. I also promised Che Long I would get him a butter pie, which is a sort of potato and cheese and onion pie. I have failed in that. I went into the concourse to get him one. They don't sell them in the ground. So, sorry, Che, but I'm going to come back empty-handed. In the press room, they had pies, but they didn't have butter pies. I had a meat and potato pie, classic football fare, and I've got to say it was very good. Proper crunchy crust, properly cooked pie. No, not one of these soggy ones that you get. Tell you what, it was the good. So the meat and potato was good, but the crust, oh, the crust. The River Wanders says, I imagine Parky will press the reset button at a half. Yeah, I agree strongly. I think they're bound to. We just need, I think, to reconsider, either in terms of using the ball slightly differently, or maybe just making sure that we take something off those kicks if the ball's skidding through. They've got the sprinklers on again. Interesting, they've only got the sprinklers on for the half that Wigan are going to be attacking in the second half. But yeah, that ball is bouncing through, and they need to either take advantage of it in a different way, or find a different way to move it around. Jarvis says 2 minutes added time. Didn't the half get stopped for like 5? I thought it wasn't 5, but you know, it was stopped. I'm a bit surprised he only added 2 on. Jarvis also not happy with the Deco's challenge. Oi, no smashing Ollie, you big lump. Aaron says, I swear we're passing backwards when we got players forwards and hacking it forwards when we got no one in attacking position. Yeah, I think the latter especially is an issue, isn't it? I think we dropped it. I'm surprised looking at the stats to see we got 55% possession, because of the half wore on. I thought Wigan took control of the ball a lot more than we did. I'm okay with us moving it around when we do have players up the pitch, mind, because I think that's how you box Wigan in, as we were in the early stages. I mean, if the ball's holding up all right, you can drop it in behind them, get pressure on them, and then they end up hacking it at us, and then we're established in their half. But if we can't get that ball in right, and some of the ball skidding on, it's not easy to gauge. I think getting the ball down, moving it around in midfield and forcing them back into their own half that way is valuable. I'm just looking at those stats as well. 16 headed clearances by us, 8 by Wigan, which I think indicates A, they're getting a lot of balls in the box, although not necessarily good balls into the box, and B, that we have overhit a lot of passes. Their centre-backs aren't having to win them. They're able to just get under them and let them bounce through to tackle, who then admittedly might do something crazy with it, who knows. Also on Wrexham, I also see I've managed to put the wrong caption on a video on Blue Sky. Wrexham fan Ava read the team out, and I videoed it. I managed to put it on a picture of me with my watch telling me I'm in a dangerously noisy place and I need to get out quick for the good of my ear. That is the Wrexham fans, of course, good energy, and good for them too. Rathbone's warming blanket, yeah, Wigan have got all the interceptions in the match so far, that's it, that's the key. Yeah, absolutely true. That's you know, we talk about second balls, you know, when the ball drops loose, who gets to it first? And I totally agree, Wigan very much are doing that. And that's often a sign of how a game is going, because, you know, we're on the back foot, we're getting a clearance in, and then they've got players in positions where they can attack that ball. We're a bit too deep in our own half. So I feel when things like that happen, it doesn't tend to be coincidental. It tends to be because one team is doing better than the other, and the way Wigan have asked questions of us has been very effective, hasn't it? Also, Gretchen Wood says that I keep mentioning the wetness of the pitch. I do, you're right. Is it unusually wet? Well, I wouldn't say unusually. Oh, by the way, you know, I said that they were spraying one half of the pitch. Well, they are now spraying the other half, just so you know. It's slick, I would say. So it's not like a problem, you know. There's no surface water or anything like that, but you can just see by the way the ball's moving and bouncing that they've watered it. And, you know, it could be, I mean, the two things that will help if you do that: A, the ball moving around, if you're passing the ball about quickly, you know, that can help you to do that. And B, it'll make the ball bounce on, and so it could be they've wanted to counter-attack quickly and they feel the ball will move well if they have the pitch being wet. But it may also be they've seen how we try and turn defences, and they're thinking, you know, if the pitch is a bit wet, the ball will take off, which it has been doing, and go clear. So either way, yeah, it seems to have been pretty effective for them. I'm just looking now, I've got the key moments from the Wycombe-Stevenage game. It's 0-0 at half-time. Ooh, they had a chance from a corner, Wycombe did. It was hit a defender and went at pace towards the Stevenage goalie, who couldn't hold on to it but grabbed it as it dropped loose in the crowd. And then a far post header for Wycombe from a corner again. Leahy is so good with those. It's Kone, it is completely unmarked at the far post, puts it wide, and he's so angry with himself. It's a really presentable chance from close in. It's not the kindest angle, but he peels away and he loses his man. Oh my gosh, it's not as bad an angle as I thought. This is a great chance. He's about 4 yards out, level with the far post, and he's put it a good yard wide. He's completely lost his man. Wow, he should have scored that. That's a relief for Wrexham. The next attack they show is Wickham coming forwards once more and holding the ball up on the left side of the box. Cross is set up on the left hand side, but instead of shot taken, defender gets up, gets ahead to it, and it deflects off target. I think it was, what's his name, Scowen, I think it is, who cut in on his right foot and hit that. The defender stood firm, got a big contact and put it over the bar. So it looks, from the way they're showing these incidents, like it's all Wickham, and those are all the first half incidents. So both games involving the top two are goalless, and not a huge amount, it would appear, in either of them in terms of goal mouth action. Let's get back to Ask Wrexham. Steve says hard to believe those possession stats. 54% for Wrexham, really. 74 accuracy passing for Wrexham. And the River One disagreeing, doesn't feel like it. To me, passing accuracy seems off, keeping possession seems off, and tackles seem off. Just last week it was the complete opposite. I think sometimes these possession stats, as we watch a match, we naturally, our brain edits out sort of passive passing in your own half. Do you know what I mean? But they're all adding up as possession and indeed accuracy passing figures. I mean, you look at the accuracy passing figures, it's funny to me because they use these a lot on TV. Oh, which players have got the best passing? Well, the centre-backs have, because they spend a chunk of their time rolling it to each other under no pressure. So there's no huge shock in that, I would argue. But so I can only assume that back three moving it around about amongst themselves has probably put that up. But I feel like when the chips have been down and teams are looking to do something with the ball, or when the ball's there to be competed for, I agree. There is a zorbing fight going on between one fan of each. I assume the Wrexham one's in red, and he looks tasty at the moment, but he's getting shoved backwards. I don't know what the rules are, but the Wrexham fan, if he is a Wrexham fan, is on the floor. He's helped back up, and he's trying to circle. That jab of his is useless now. In fact, he's run away now. So, horrible feeling we've lost that one. There is a yellow Power Ranger adjudicating. Actually, they're trying to dribble using the Zorb, and the poor Wrexham lad ends up on his back again. And Wigan score out. There's a goal apparently. Oh well, the Wigan player celebrates by taking out the corner flag. Right, I'm really not sure what the heck's going on down there. Feels like my kind of thing. Oh, there's little goals, I can see them now. Feels like my kind of thing, and yet, funnily enough, I'm not so sure. Wrexham appear to have scored. I'll be honest with you, it's chaos down there. So let's see. Aaron says hopefully we'll come out in a few minutes with better energy and a better plan. Well, Phil Parkinson does tend to be good at getting involved in that sort of thing and just reorganising. Margot says half-time and lunchtime, no pies here. Rarely see any gluten-free food at stadiums. Would love for them to be more readily available, even if you have to order in advance. That's a fair point. But then really happy with, now this is a technical wool-related word, really happy with how this course spun is turning out. It will be coiled when I fly. There's 3 words in there I don't properly understand. I apologise. Speaking of creative vocabulary, Phil C reckons that's what Parky is, in inverted commas, motivating the boys with now. He wants to see the sort of half-time quality we've already been seeing this season. And Simon Johnson, just reasons to be cheerful. We're going to need to be at least 2 goals ahead before Fletcher time if we want to rescue anything from this game. I like it. Right, yes, now Davis King says, what was up with the superhero costumes earlier on this morning? Should have seen a Deadpool or 2. I mean, oh dear. Did you see there was a video Wigan put out last week, which, to be honest, did get a fair amount of stick on social media, of Krusty the Pie, their pie mascot, and a guy in not the best Deadpool outfit. Sort of like advertising, Krusty versus Deadpool. Well, today I haven't seen any Deadpools, but just about every other superhero outfit seems to be available. I've got to say, I'm going to stick my neck out. I think that the individuals have been given the opportunity. Oh, it's on the screen. I think we've got Batman, a decent Batman. I've seen a very cheap-looking Batman as well today. Yeah, because I think they've been given the decision to fund your own outfits so that they vary in quality. I promise you. But yeah, that appears to be. I don't know. I don't know if it's a dig or not, but yeah, I saw a Hulk earlier as well. He'd gone to make some effort as the teams come back out, and so yeah, let's see just what Wrexham have got up their sleeves for the second half. So pitchers had a nice watering at half time as well, just to keep it as it was in the first period. A lot of Wrexham fans excitedly waiting for Stephen Fletcher to get on and see what he can do.
Yeah, well, we just spoke in Matchday Live about what possibilities he's got. You know, certainly Elliot Lee, he changes the dynamic a little bit of that midfield to get on the ball, and he's always looking to get it to feet, and he moves people around. Fletcher will be the same. He plays a little bit more closer to Smith, so maybe those longer balls. We've just got to have a little bit more quality when we have the ball. Our forward passing has been poor today and overhit. Just got to be a little bit more. If we have a bit more quality, then that will bring the front two into the game more.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Rodriguez. For me,
Smith, I feel both of them. I'm like that. Oh, you talk about feeding off scraps.
Exactly. It's Rodriguez, I thought, looked very lively first 10 minutes, but when we don't control the ball, he's just his best work is dropping off and doing defensive graft, isn't it? Which is not what we bought him for, let's be honest. His ability to do so is good, but yeah, we're not getting the most out of him at the moment in this game. So the referee is just getting ready. Adam Haircheg gets the game underway. The fourth official, by the way, has the fantastic name Zach Kennard Kettle. I had one of those once, but the fuse went and it was never the same. Rathbone fighting in midfield as he fouled by a deco, nothing given. Dobson helps the ball on, Longman on the halfway line, feeds it back in and mishits that. Plenty of time for Aimson. I think he wanted to go out perhaps, but it wouldn't, and so Rodriguez makes him play the back pass, and Tickle slices it up the left flank and out of play for a throw to Wrexham.
It was a nothing ball from Longman, wasn't it? I think he felt Dobson might make the run in that corner, but nobody going. But I managed to put a little bit of pressure on and get a throw in.
Throw taken, and Wrexham get another throw level the edge of the area, right hand side.
This is a bugbear of mine from throw-ins. We have to be able to keep the ball, unless we're throwing it miles into the box, which we look like we may do. We have to be able to keep the ball a little bit better from throw-ins.
Longman goes short, and I think Dobson missed control, but it's allowed him to turn his man, puts a good ball in, headed away at the far post, well brought down edge of the area by James, who digs out a good ball for Longman, first time cross into the 6-yard box, headed back to Longman. Ref gives a foul against Rathbone. A bit harsh. He's caught the Wigan player as he goes to head it. I mean, it's the definition of stooping to make a header, isn't it? That really?
Yeah, it's a really good header away, but he does go low for it, doesn't he? And obviously, as per usual, Ollie Rathbone's busting a gut to get in there, try and make a connection. What was a decent cross in from Ryan Longman, but yeah, I'm not sure how much contact there was really. But I
guess looking at it, he sort of arrives a little late perhaps, so I hate to have sympathy with the ref, but maybe I kind of get it.
Well, we're able to keep the ball from the throw in first and foremost. Dobson does brilliantly well to keep it and then manage to get the cross in.
As Rodriguez creates a loose ball in the Wigan half, knocked over the top, and Weir's pass will be easily dealt with by Brunt back to Okonkwo, who leans backwards and puts distance and height into his clearance. McLean puts good pressure on. Adiko hurried into playing the ball early, and Brunt's got all the time in the world to pick her up. Looking at the significant moments in the Wycombe game at half-time, and there weren't many, although they were all for Wycombe. The main one was Kone missed an absolute sitter, 6 yards out from a corner, As O'Connell goes a good diagonal, forces Robinson to head to Rodriguez. Now Longman's in space as Robinson recovers. Longman goes round the outside, commits Robinson to the ground and goes past him. That's good. Pulls it back and it's flicked into the box by Rathbone. Whether he had his mind made up to do that, I don't know so much. I think he was just the pass didn't fall for him to strike it. So it was a promising position. Longman really did well against Robinson. Here he is again now, running at Robinson. Onto his left foot, swings to the far post as better. McLean gets up, nods it back, but nobody's attacked that space, and it's cleared.
Yeah, well, already in this first half, Ryan Longman has played a big part, much more than he did in that first. Getting him on that ball, much more than we did already, and you've just seen it there in front of your eyes, what he can do when he's 1v1 against Robinson.
Well, I don't think he had a cross in that first half, and in that second half he's already had 2 here in the first 3 minutes. I think that was something that Parky will have said to him. Let's get the ball out to our key people in 1v1 situations. Can you be positive? He actually does really well, because as he takes his touch to cross it, Robinson does well, puts a foot in, but he knows he's gone to ground, so he just takes that touch past him, then he's into the box. I think I maybe would have preferred Rathbone going for a shot, sort of go for a shot cross, but he chooses just to put it back into an area and nobody reads it.
Yeah, he doesn't. The connection he makes on it is not strong enough, really, is it? If he just gets a bit more on it, you never know what deflection that can take, where it can end up.
And the ball's been dead because Robinson went down in a heap once the ball went out of play. Didn't need the physio. It's this unnerving rocking movement on his hands and knees, and then got up. But has Longman given him twisted blood? That's what we wonder. Difficult to walk that one off. Rathbone has to go back into his own half as the Wigan strikers press. O'Connell now, but this is a better start to the half by Wrexham. Better, should I say, than what happened in the last half hour or so of the first half. Wrexham at the back, moving it around well. And Brunt carries it forwards, it opens up for him. Good ball, now chance for a cross. Stood into the 6-yard box, falls for Longman. Can he hit it? Doesn't sit up for him. He gets on his right foot, dinks it in. Wrexham screaming for handball. Ref gives a corner. He took a long time thinking about that, didn't he?
He did. He thought about it. His hands are down by his side, though, aren't they? I don't really know where he can put them, but there's certainly a big shout for it. Longman does ever so well. Maybe he could have took the first time shot on a difficult position, I suppose. Again, he does that extra little touch, does hit his arm, and like you say, he paused and we're all waiting. Where's he going to point his arm? The wrong way.
Exactly. Corner then. McLean to rip it in with his left foot. Tears it under the bar. Tickle, good punch that. Acrobatic goalkeeping. Gets it clear out onto the left flank. Yeah, looking at that, I mean, again, his arm is up. Does it hit his arm and drop down onto his body? I think Lewis Brunt might just want to show the video of the handball given against him and point out it looked more like a handball than the one he was penalised for. I think that would be a reasonable comment.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, Mark, similar to the Lewis Brunt sort of armpit one in that first half. But yeah, there was definitely a few seconds where you just didn't know what the referee was going to do.
Robinson was a bit lucky. Here he is now as Longman goes at him. Wrexham right on top of this half. Longman, little lollipop in, out. Tries to cross. Robinson again does really well. He looked like he was beaten. Stretches butter behind for the corner.
Yeah, well, I think Longman's got him on toast at the moment, because I think he knows that when he goes past him on the outside, he's going to stretch and he goes to ground. So again, he does brilliantly well, by the way, Robinson, to block that one. But if again he takes another touch, he's out the game, Robinson, and he can then pick out his man, hopefully.
Here's McLean with another corner then. Steps up. Same sort of area. Important header, clear that. A clash of heads, I think. Is that Bazine? No. 2 players went down. Smith was just adjusting his boot. Now James gets the ball. Nice little pass inside to him by Rathbone. He delivers into the box. Smith's after it. Beaten to us in the air. Oh, and Dobson tried a spectacular strike from the left side of the box. Couldn't quite make contact. Beg your pardon, Rodriguez it was. And Wrexham now looking to put pressure on. Oh, it's a cheeky little turn by Carragher. I thought Rodriguez was going to read it, but he got away from him and clears. But again, it's Wrexham getting to the second balls first, although the ball's ricocheted off James for a throw to Wigan, level the edge of the area, right hand side.
Well, we've been first to boat all balls in this second half, and we've looked on the front foot. We've been able to get Longman in the game so much more than that first half. And then you've seen as the ball gets played forward to the front two now, the midfielders are right deep and they're just finding it really difficult to get in contact with them, exactly how we found it in that first half.
Yeah, role reversal, but here now Wigan's first chance to get in the Wrexham half. Rathbone penalised for a challenge on the flank. Ref gives the impression he's one of those who doesn't want to bring cards out unnecessarily, so fair enough. But Rathbone's been penalised a few times by the ref. He may need to watch out he doesn't get a card for accumulation. So, ball stood into the goal mouth. Okonkwo takes it well under pressure from Mellish and hits it early. Smith again isolated, and he's chasing this defender, lets it bounce. Robinson takes a touch as well, and he's in trouble. He's lost it to Smith on the right flank, who pulls it back to the edge of the area. Still not much support coming up. Rodriguez sensible, back to Longman, and he pulls it back to the edge of the box. Dobson has got Longman outside him. We're going to get every bar one back defending. Longman delivers to the far post. He's looking wing back to wing back. McLean wins a good header. It's cleared by Adiko. Am I being naive here? I feel there was a lot of McLean's headers when we put those long balls into the far post naturally fall close to him, and yet we don't seem to get people looking in those spaces as Dobson's pass is blocked, but Longman picks her up on the right. Again, a couple of step overs, beats Robinson, dinks her in, good header clear by Ameson. Wrexham throw in, Longman sprinting to get it back in the pitch quickly to Cleworth, and I hear this Longman renewing his acquaintance with Robinson. Again, as Andy said, they go man for man in the middle, so Robinson's not getting support. Oh, it's great shape on that cross. Touch from Smith. McLean on his right foot pulls it back. Dobson squares it. Wrexham fans screaming at someone to shoot. Rathbone does, and Carragher gets a good block in. Throw to Wrexham, great pressure.
Yeah, it just wouldn't sit for any of those in red, would it? Just James McLean just gets his head up when he does get it down, and he just can't get that shot away. And then same goes for Rathbone. Just got blue shirts in front of him.
Rathbone over delivers on this cross, goes behind. That's a shame we had him in penned in, but this is much better in the second half. We just need to start creating.
Yeah, but again, it came from Ryan Longman, didn't it? Up against Robinson, who already in this second half looks like he's blowing a little bit. Can we get at him as much as possible? We saw on that goal kick over the top as well, makes the wrong decision, should have cleared it on first opportunity, but let Sam Smith get at him.
I think you're certainly right, Mark, though. We know that if Longman goes to the back post, McLean's got the winning of it at that back stick, and you've got to then readjust your position, because all he's going to do is just head it back down. Very unlikely to score from so far out. And then can you read it? Can one of the midfielders get maybe off their man to go and put it in?
Long ball forwards by Wrexham. Smith beaten to it. Rathbone quick to get it and work it wide. And acceleration by McLean is good, but Adiko's done well to come across and intercept. O'Connell heads it deep into the Wigan half once more. Carragher drives it long down the right flank, and O'Connell is beaten on the turn by Asamoah. Great work by Cleworth. Comes across and intercepts. Two Wigan players coming at him. Poor ball by Cleworth though, and the ball's played in, and O'Connell has to make sure he puts it behind for the corner, and then gives a thumbs up to Cleworth to thank him. Wrexham could have been caught out there.
Yeah, and it's Asamoah again. Just does really well. His body shape just turns Owen O'Connell, sends him the wrong way, pushes him in almost into the ball, so he can get him behind. And Max Cleworth does well, has to do well in that position.
Ameson, the centre-back, is joining the crowd round the penalty spot. He was trying to get the corner taker's attention. He and Cleworth are having a wrestling match, and the ref was staring at them. And Ameson basically engaged with Cleworth, who tried to grab hold, and then Ameson tried to split away from him by running around the crowd of players with Cleworth on the wrong side. So I think maybe stopping that may help Wrexham more than Wigan, because Cleworth is struggling to pick Ameson up again at the near post. Right, they've had a telling off. And again, Ameson's now got players between him and Cleworth to try and block them, and he attacks the near post once more. Good header by Brunt though at the near post. Adiko quickly back out to the flank again. Ball overhit massively, soars into the Wrexham end. Still 0-0 at Stevenage. So this is tense, isn't it? One goal either way could make such a difference in this promotion scrap. Concord, the short goal kick to O'Connell. Wrexham much better in the second half. Need to keep this up. Need to keep that ball coming to Longman on the right. Here is O'Connell for Cleworth. Pass just sold him a bit short. He's done well to get it snappily back to O'Connell, who then lifts it a diagonal. McLean hadn't made the run.
Just that lacking, getting the head up, just having a quick look. Has anyone actually made that run before I put that ball in that space? Because otherwise it just turns it over, so it makes Wigan's job so much more easier.
It's just the first pass. His first pass into Brunt is a little bit close, doesn't give Brunt the time that he needs. Then that reverse pass back to him doesn't give him the time that he really needs. And then you're just forcing a pass into an area. Just got to be better with those little simple things. World-class basics, if I remember rightly.
Nice. It's interesting what you're saying about throw-ins as well, because I've had a few questions when I've done the Ask Wrexham podcast from people saying, people think about marginal gains. What about throw-ins? So many teams just throw it short, get it back to the thrower. Are there gains to be gained then? I know hang on a second, as Rodriguez is chasing this. He looked offside to me, but he's won a corner. The linesman's flag stayed down. So really well there to chase that. Knocks her off Aimson.
Well, I don't think Dobson's got any other choice than just to hook it in that channel from the position that he's coming onto the ball. So as a striker, you can anticipate that that's where he's going to put it. And Rodriguez does that, gives himself a little chance to get on the end of it. Like you say, I think it was tight for the offside, but gets himself and his team a corner for just running after a ball.
So McLean with his third corner of the half. He put the first two into good areas. He signals, steps up, whips it in under the bar, and it's a header just wide. Ref will give a goal kick. Wrexham again feel that should have been a corner. It was swung into the 6-yard box. Real pace on it.
Yeah, our setup, we normally are outside the penalty spot, but we're right in on that 6-yard line. Something maybe Phil Parkinson and his staff have seen that they can just maybe get free from.
Goal kick taken short, and then Wigan go long, and it's O'Connell on the edge of the Wrexham area heading the ball clean. Longman hooking it over his shoulder, brought down by Kerr. Rodriguez trying to hassle him, gets close, force him to play it backwards. Wigan go long, well read. O'Connell steps in, chests it down and creates space for himself. Now crossing the halfway line, he rolls it into Longman, who's come inside. His first touch wasn't great, his second was good. He found Rathbone, who tried an immediate ball to put McLean in, doesn't find him. He closes down, but the ricochet spins over McLean's head. Through to Wigan. Again, just in a position where one more pass will work and cause a problem, and out comes Fletcher to warm up, as if Parkinson's thinking, let's press the detonator.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's maybe Rathbone just not quite anticipating that ball to get through with Deco's legs, but he's got a bit more time, I think, to just get that pass right out to McLean. And like you say, Mark, just those last little bits just need tidying up, and you feel like we could really cause Wigan some problems.
Ball played forward. Smith knocks back into midfield. Dobson fighting for it. The ball's knocked over the top, and Samoa beaten to it by O'Connell, who has no option but to put it out for a throw level the edge of the area. I'm encouraged to say that whenever I look down, the ball seems to be at the Wickham ends of Stevenage attacking. I've only looked down about 4 times. Well, they're in the box now. And the shot comes in, which is blocked. Last ball into the Wrexham box, well dealt with by Longman. Played back into the area by Ames, an awkward one again. O'Connell takes it really well in his chest and hooks it out for a throw in, level the edge of the area, left hand side for Wigan. So throw will be taken by Ameson. He belatedly gets a short option, isn't interested, so it looks like he wants to put this into the box. Mellish is in there around the near post, thrown in beyond him, headed away by O'Connell. Longman can't quite get there. Another throw in pretty much the same spot. 28 minutes left on a tense early afternoon. That's well read. Dobson read that really well. His clearance is blocked, but it'll spin behind for the goal kick. And are you all looking at your watch to see what time the subs need to be made?
Well, Marriott out, Lee's gone out. The 3 or 4 that you would expect are all out warming up.
Nice progressive pass by Dobson, invites Cleworth to come forwards. He finds Longman. And Longman has got James offering, cuts inside instead, and can pull it across to Brunt. Now Wrexham have got a lot of players in attacking positions here as Brunt goes wide. McLean, level the edge of the area, has got Dale isolated. Dale gets a touch, the ball ricochets for a corner. Yeah, we've seen everything down the right, haven't we? That's the first time I've seen McLean have a go at Dale. We don't know what sort of defender Dale is, quite frankly, do we?
No, started off with a nice little bit of play though, good little turn from George Dobson, really deep, finds Max, who's made a really good run out on that right hand side, just keeps driving into that space that we know is always going to be there for him.
Rathbone with the corner, McLean is there for the short one and receives it. Rathbone goes round the back, gets it back from McLean, corner of the box on his right foot, and it's charged down. Asamoah now, can he break away? Knocks it long, look at the pace of Asamoah. He bursts past 2 men, danger here, players and marks at the far post. Asamoah shoots, good save by Okonkwo. Electric stuff from Asamoah. Wrexham made a bit of a mess of the short corner, and we could have been punished. Okonkwo did well.
Yeah, really does well. Arthur Okonkwo in between the sticks, as he's done all season, really makes himself big. But what a little bit of pace from Asamoah. I mean, little bit, a lot, I should say. Absolutely skins the 2 Wrexham players. And then Ryan Longman has a decision to make. Does he come? Does he stay with the ones coming into that box? Probably makes the right decision, right time, forces him into that shot. And Arthur has it covered.
Yeah, held his near post well, put it behind for the corner. Here it comes. O'Connell partly flicks it on to the edge of the box, and we're going to have to go back to the halfway line. Bit of a heavy touch to Robinson, who then just launches a massive one into the box, and Okonkwo sensibly takes it on the full.
Catches it in the deep.
Yeah. I was thinking rugby because Wigan Warriors play here as well, and it was a good mark. Smith unlucky, manages to muscle his man out of the way, can't quite bring it down. But yeah, a good take by Okonkwo. If he let it bounce, anything could have happened. Here's Tickle, he can vouch for that. He stands the ball up high on the halfway line, had it clear by Matty James. Long ball again by Wickham. Cleworth underneath it, nods it down the flank. Dobson's working hard, can't get that. Nice little touch inside with the head of Mellish, and it's fed to the edge of the D. There's a chance here, the ball is helped on and hit, and straight at Okonkwo. Dale had time to take a touch if he'd wanted to, try to whip it on early, and Wrexham, wow, frenzied, signalling to bring the subs back in. I think they've enjoyed the last couple of minutes, and Wigan have opened us up.
Well, what a chance that is. Dale, as he has done in that first half as well, finds himself in that bit of space that James McLean leaves over on his side, and he has got that little bit more time, hasn't he? Really frustrating that he's not managed to challenge Arthur Okonkwo a bit more in that situation. But Wrexham just need to remember that Wigan have got those players with quality going forward. We can't think this is still all there for us.
Here's Okonkwo, the ball's his feet. Goes long, looking for Smith, put too much on that. Aimson heads it back into midfield. Matty James stretching, gets ahead to it. But it's Taylor who will get there on the left flank, decides to take Cleworth on. Good for him by Cleworth. Wrexham have got Lee, Barnett and Fletcher all stripped off and ready to come on. As well, Longman's certainly anticipating that he's going off. Or is he? He's coming for instruction.
I think he's more instruction. I was going to be surprised if Longman does come off. I think he probably goes over to the left-hand side.
Yeah, that's what I assumed as well.
Parkinson yellow as well. For some reason.
Bless him. It's that Kettle bloke, isn't it? He's putting everyone off. The 4th official. Right, let's see what is going on. Fletcher, Lee and Barnett will come on, as we said.
Well, Fletcher for Rodriguez is
surely
going to be the same swap that's happened.
Barnett for McLean is confirmed, and he, of course, will get applause from both sets of fans. Yeah, the Wigan fans are giving him a standing ovation. He's not been able to make that much of an influence, has he, in this game? But nice to see him getting applauded, isn't it? Yeah, coming off a pitch.
I think the only ground he's had that.
Yeah.
proper warrior.
Dobson and Rodriguez are the other ones coming off. So Lee in midfield for Dobson, Fletcher up front for Rodriguez, and Barnett on the right for McLean, with Longman going across to the left. That is a very attacking reconfiguration, because we want to win, of course. It's a throw down the line, Brunt underneath it, heads it, Cleworth heads it clear, the ball back in, much too heavy. It's a goal kick, and the Wrexham fans urging Okonkwo to come across and get on with things. So Okonkwo spotting the goal kick up. Wrexham drawing 0-0 here. Stevenage holding Wycombe at Adams Park. A goal either way could be massive. Okonkwo long, Fletcher gets up, good header by Aimson, but Lee gets at the loose ball, does well to sort his feet out and find Rathbone, who's on the right of the midfield three now, with Lee on the left. Rathbone under pressure, does well to sweep the ball across to Brunt. He's immediately pressed well by Dale. O'Connell stands it down the flank, Barnett backing in, and Robinson holds his ground and wins a throw-in. Yeah, fresh legs against Robinson as well, and Barnett had a good chance to study him from the dugout as well and see what he needs to do. And like I said, Dale hasn't really had to defend all that much really, so having Longman against him, if things go as we plan, ought to be a big change in circumstance for him. Throw down the line to the halfway line, touched on well by Robinson. Barnett, good ball forwards, finds Smith, just span off him, it came at him at a pace, couldn't quite take it. Ball forwards is a poor one by Aimson though. Takes a heavy deflection off Mellish, and Wrexham have it on the edge of the area. Brunt down the line, Longman on the left gets his first touch on that flank, lifts it, good ball towards Smith, good foot in by Aimson. Smith's so good at backing in and making the ball stick in those situations. Aimson has done well to stop him doing so. And now here's Dale cutting inside into the centre circle, works it across the halfway line, and Mellish lets Robinson take over. His pass forces a back pass from Aimson though. Into the 70th minute.
Yeah, and it's just got a bit similar to that first half where we've kind of let Wigan get a hold of the ball a bit more. We just need to make sure when we get that ball, can we hold on to it for a little period of time, unless it's on, to hit that ball over the top, especially with Fletcher on now. Might get more opportunities from that ball.
Well, we've essentially won 1 in 3 of our games this season, 1-0. I'd take another right now, to be frank. Okonkwo.
I'd take 5 of them.
Oh yeah, totally. Okonkwo goes long, Smith can't reach that, goes straight through to Tickle. And Tickle he's really going to take his time here, drops it on the floor. Cornet is down inches for Wycombe. Hits it long, Cleworth wins a good header, but it drops kindly for Wigan. Mellish helps it on, good header away by O'Connell. Lee now brings it down nicely. Barnett's on the run, he's gone over the top of Smith, who looks to be pulled to the ground. Ref doesn't give it. Aimson goes down holding his face. There's certainly a hand on Smith's shoulder, whether that was reciprocated is a fair question. And Tickle, interestingly, making Smith come to make him pick the ball up. I didn't think Wigan were particularly helped by a draw with him. I don't think there's that much danger of them going down. I know they've had a poor season by what they expected, but there's enough breathing space, I'd have thought, between them and Burton and Bristol Rovers. You see his Longman beating his man on the halfway line, that's good, but to be fair, he doesn't decisively get away, and Wrexham are forced in the end to go back to Okonkwo. It's good diligent work to track him by Taylor. So Wrexham again, tempo's gone right down last few minutes. That's a good ball to Fletcher, who steps off to receive it deep and works it wide to Longman. First chance now to get at his man, Carragher backpedals, Longman cuts in on his right foot, feeds it in, looking for Fletcher just behind him. Mellish and he barging into each other, and the ref stop in play. Mellish had hold of his shirt, didn't stop Fletcher from getting to it, the pass was behind him, but Fletcher took a bit of a swing at his arm and they went chest to chest. Well,
he reads it really well, doesn't he, Mellish? Because it's a really nice idea from Longman. First time he's been on that ball on that left-hand side since the switch over. But really good defending, just make sure he gets a toe to it, because Fletcher's in, and you fancy him in that position all day long.
Yeah, he's got goal side of him, hasn't he? And the ball just behind him. If it hadn't been, that shirt pull could have become an issue for Mellish. As from the goal kick, Wigan feed it forwards, a little bit of space between lines of Robinson, who is tucked in, and he finds Asamoah. Fancy little flick to get the ball back to Adiko, helps it on wide. Robinson's cross floated into the goal mouth. O'Connell does well to get a touch, and there's a flag up for offside anyway. As we do, Fletcher is staying up now. Rodriguez is coming back to help midfield. So when we're in those positions, we maybe have more of a chance to break. Okonkwo with the free kick in the box. Right-footed with distance, he's looking for Fletcher, who gets ahead of Carragher and helps it on nicely. Longman now taking on Carragher, who gets a foot in. Good feet by Longman to recover though. Elliot Lee, good ball to the edge of the area. Oh, and it went through Fletcher's legs. I mean, he's the player with the technique he expected to take that, didn't he?
Well, unbelievable. Is that a bad touch by Fletch? Yeah, great ball in though by Elliot Lee. Firstly and foremost, Fletcher's able to beat Carragher in the air and just drop it off his head onto Longman's path. Longman keeps it. Then Elliot Lee, what he adds to your team is that he does look forward and into your strikers. Just Fletch couldn't quite get that touch, that such important touch to maybe take it under control.
Yeah, it was a shame that, wasn't it? And Fletcher probably in his mind was already thinking about how he's going to spin on it and drill it in the top corner. As Brunt has an awkward moment then, just lost his footing as the ball was flicked over his head. O'Connell's put out for a throw-in, safety first. Okonkwo wanted to come out and grab it. O'Connell put it out of play though. Throw into Wigan, 35 yards out, right-hand side. If in doubt, stick it out. Throw to the edge of the box. O'Connell wins another header. The ball's hooked partly clear. Lee wins the throw-in, 35 yards out from the Wrexham goal. We're approaching the last 15 minutes now. Still both games are goalless. Brunt throws down the line. Fletcher chests it back. Ooh, and everyone's laughed at, and it's fallen for Asamoah, who carries it forwards well under pressure, gets round James, puts in the cross. Defender gets a touch to its corner. Important block. O'Connell again. But yeah, Asamoah's really so quick, isn't he?
Yeah, and I'm sure Andy will point out it's off a throw-in again, just a bit flat-footed. Wrexham don't make anything of it, can't keep hold of it. It's just quite poor, really. And then Asamoah again, like you say, Mark, it's really exciting, lively.
He's electric, isn't he? Off the mark.
So an away swinger. Wrexham have everyone back defending. Smith goes across to pick up Robinson, who offers with the short. So does Barnett. Referee tells him to hurry up. In fact, it's a change of taker. Robinson will take the in-swinger. Big men lurk beyond the penalty spot. Ball swung to the near post. Good punch by Okonkwo. An important piece of work on the edge of the box as well by Smith, because Mellish was attacking it, hoping to get a shot off. Wigan have got a sub ready to come on, but they knock it into the Wrexham box. That's come off Mellish last. Call kick. And Wigan will bring on Harry McHugh, who started the last match behind the strikers. They won't get him on before Wrexham restart the game though. He's still getting instructions. Long ball by Brunt. Fletcher backing into his man, creates a loose ball. Carragher just beats Longman to it, and piece of poor pass looking for Mellish. He's found Barnett on the right. Barnett has players demanding early service at the far post. He wants to take on Robinson, and Robinson blocks it behind for the corner.
Yeah, I think it was probably on, really, wasn't it, to go a bit earlier, especially with Stephen Fletcher lurking at that back post, relatively unmarked, but wins a corner from it anyway.
No left footer. Number clean's gone off, so Rathbone jogs over to it.
I wonder how much we work for this eventuality. We're all about the in-swingers, aren't we? Here's an away swinger. Wrexham have one man in the 6-yard box beyond the far post, everyone else in a clump between the penalty spot and the edge of the box. As Rathbone signals, right-footed, sweeps it beyond the far post, beyond Fletcher. Brunt scrapping for it, turns around with a query to the ref about shirt pulling. And it's an awkward long ball forwards, and if the Wigan player had been able to bring that under control, Wrexham could have been in trouble. Difficult one to win though. Rathbone gets a good foot in as Wrexham tries to get our shape back. Caught out again from our own set piece as Dale pops up on the left, feeds it inside. Asamoah getting his shirt pulled all over the place. Ref doesn't give it. Dale has it on the edge of the D. Ref signals he gave an advantage, and Wigan have it on the right side of the box. Weir looking to find space, squares it. Dale, edge of the area. Looked like he might set for a shot. Plays a cute ball to Mellish. He plays it across the face of goal and no one can get a touch. Oh wow, that was really well worked and nearly came to fruition.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, I thought Wigan might have preferred the ref to give him the free kick, but then, like you say, they work it really well, and it's just unfortunate they haven't got a striker up there to just tap that one in as it goes across goal.
Lowy going mental at Taylor at the back post to just go and gamble on that and expect it to happen. Instead he just watches it a little bit on his heels. That's exactly what Lowy was all about. He used to just tap them in at those back posts.
Well, McHugh comes on for Weir. That's a good patient move, wasn't it, by Wigan, and a great advantage by the ref.
The guy in front of us has got the Man City game on, and it was 2-1 Palace, and then I've just looked and it's 4-2.
I think it was 2-0 Palace.
Oh, right, it's 4-2 now, City.
As here come Wigan again. They've again got into this game. O'Connell's taking a blow to the head. The ref has to stop that. Jack Marius is ready to come on. Well, Wrexham wait and see how O'Connell does. He just got blown in the face. It was accidental. I can't work out why Aimson is complaining to the ref as if he shouldn't have stopped the play. He had to. It was a clear head injury.
Yeah, but I think this will be an interesting change. Does he go 3 strikers? Does he take Sam Smith off? I think that'll probably be the one. But very interesting.
Trying to get eyes on the board.
Yeah, who spots it first?
Dave Jones with the board. He's not giving a lot away from up here.
Oh, he's holding it in a meaningful manner then, wasn't he? And now he's double checked again with the paperwork. He's such a tease.
So is that rules now, is it, that you have your own board and you give it to the 4th official ready printed, is that right?
Well,
or is that you get to do it yourself?
Exactly, I think that's what it is. I think we've got a lot of...
That's an exciting touch for an assistant,
geeks.
isn't it? Oh, do I get to hold the board up? No, look, they've given it to him.
But I noticed Wrexham do that. I don't know if other teams do. I need to watch out for that. It's I know in the women's game they don't tend to be 4th officials, and Dave Williams, the goalie coach, he loves it. And I was heartbroken when there was a 4th official the other day, and so he wasn't able to be at the race course. He wasn't able to hold the board up, and my heart broke for him. He's the
claim to fame, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's a bit 70s,
he's
but
good at it too, I think.
He's very, very. He does. Yeah, he does actually show people both sides.
You've got to take it very serious. If you're doing a job, do it properly.
Absolutely. So in home games we get to see how much time's added on, which is nice. I know it's a bit 70s, but he's the top boxing ring girl I've ever seen. You know. Now O'Connell's off for his 30 seconds of punishment for having his nose spread across his face. If his family are listening, I don't think his nose has actually been spread across his face. Marius hasn't come on. The tension is building. Brunt goes back to Okonkwo. Wrexham down to 10 players for the moment. Okonkwo sets himself, stands it up. Fletcher, oh dear. Smith and Fletcher went left. He's put it down the right channel, so it's headed away easily. And now Wrexham having to cover here as the ball's fed forwards. But Brunt will get there ahead of Asamoah. Brunt is quick, of course, but obviously that means he had a big head start as Okonkwo knocks it long. Headed back into midfield. Good challenge by Lee. Did really well to come out with the ball. O'Connell back on the pitch. And it's a neat little dink by James. Longman running now at Carragher. He's got support, Carragher. And he gets a good foot in as well. Dale is given the support and the ref gives a soft free kick against Longman. And will we now see who's going to be brought off? Marriott gets a final hug from Steve Barkin. And the 4th official can't programme it. We've done all the hard work for him. And yeah, Steve Smith is. I said it first, I get the prize. What is the prize? man.
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith. Sam Smith. Right, I'm still the first to say he's come off. In other news, I see that Steve Smith just got to his century in the IPL. He said, covering brilliantly. Oh dear.
I think it's been a really difficult day, though, to be fair, for Sam Smith up top. I think that Wigan backline have marshalled him really well, but again, haven't really given him much at all to feed off.
It's gone over the top now. Longman plays him in, but he has to put the brakes on, and in the end it comes off him for a throw to Wigan.
Yeah, but off the back of a goal from Jack Marriott last week, I think he'll be full of confidence, wanting to get back into that form that he was in at the start of the season as we approach the end.
And yeah, to give him a little bit more time than he's been getting in recent weeks, where he's been coming on very late or not at all. Okonkwo goes long. Fletcher, Marriott's making a good run off him. Fletcher, though, is beaten in the air. Good work by Kirk. And then Robinson does a kung fu kick on the ball to get it further clear. James held on to his man. Free kick in the centre circle to Wigan. And yeah, at the moment we're just not getting that final momentum that obviously Phil Parkinson is attempting to create with the substitutions. Still 0-0 at Wickham. It's only the 82nd minute there. They're about 2 minutes behind us. Long, flat ball is really taken well on the edge of the area by Taylor, who pulls it back to Robinson. Back to the halfway line. The Deco on his right foot. Goes back to his own half, to the Wigan fans' anger. Forwards by Aimson. O'Connell heads it square. Barnett beaten to it by Mellish. The ball's fed forward. Good foot in by O'Connell. Comes back out to Robinson. Central position on his right foot. The crowd told him to shoot. He squares it. Carragher helps it wide. Dale now running at Longman. Back to Carragher. First time cross. Stood to the far post. Barnett gets up. It's headed into the goal mouth. Headed away well again. This time by Cleworth, and Barnett knocks it long. Fletcher on his own up front, nearly took it in his stride, and he'll chase after that. Aimson is calm and squares it to Kerr. Wrexham get into that mid-block as the ball is knocked long. O'Connell wins another header. Second ball won by Wigan though, and Asamoah tries to bring it down. Poor touch by Longman. Dale drills in a first-time cross, and it's a poor one. He picks up Brunt at the near post. There's a target at the far as Fletcher wins this header. Drops behind Marriott. Volleyed clear. Rathbone can't control his head as it comes flying at him. He's managed to find Barnett. Barnett goes in 1-2. Rathbone, and well, if the referee's seen that, that's a red card to Robinson, surely. It's a yellow. I can't believe that. Barnett tried to spin past him and Robinson just grabbed hold of him, but he didn't just pull him down. It was like a wrestling move, that one. Unbelievable.
He nearly tombstoned him. He absolutely had him right around the neck, right around the shoulders, spun him around and dumped him on the floor.
I mean, am I being biased? That's a red card for me. I mean, it's not just holding someone, pulling him down.
I'm not sure you're allowed to do that. I'm not sure allowed it's in the rules.
I strongly
a yellow
agree.
card is a spin and a dump on the floor.
That was crazy. Well,
now on a yellow though, so can we get Barnett?
Asamoah's nowhere near 10 yards off as he cuts off a short free kick. So O'Connell goes long, looking for Fletcher, who just gets in front of Carragher. Couldn't quite make contact though. Longman will retrieve, but it comes off him last. A lot of that's going on at the moment. Last 10 minutes when we're going forwards, just not quite getting the right touch. Throw to Wigan.
Yeah, it's just not quite happening for us today, is it? But how many times have we said that this season? And something, just one little bit of magic, one little bit of quality, it's changed that and got us 3 points. Just got to hope that we've still got that moment in us as we head into the last few minutes of this one.
Still 0-0 at Adams Park as well. I know I sound like I'm obsessed, but I'm in good company. Every time I look down, Sky have got the live table on, even though it hasn't changed since the start of the day. So Wrexham get a throw on the halfway line. Wrexham fans roaring to get on with it. Fletcher, hit him in the face, I think. He's managed to ricochet kindly for Wrexham. Oh, but it's a hard tackle on Brunt. Throw goes Wigan's way on the halfway line, and Brunt's not getting up in a hurry. The referee is not going to let Wigan take the throw. He's limping back now into position. Longman's covering for now.
Just that snappiness in our passing that we had in that second half, it's just left us a little bit. The subs haven't really had the impact that they normally have at the moment.
Brunt heads the ball clear. Looks to be moving okay now as Longman gets a foot in, hacks to the halfway line, comes down from height. Fletcher, deft little flick, but it's just got too much on it for Marius. Mind you, the backwards pass allows Marriott to chase Kerr, who just about gets it away, and Marriott's penalised. Just goes in, leaves a bit on Kerr. That's right, I think, but it's just frustrating. I know he wants to get there, but you know, Kerr's just going to thrash it blind. You might win a second ball and be in. Yeah,
there's just no need to do it though. You go and put the pressure on and then just pull out at the last minute if you can, because Fletcher had a great touch and we're on. We can then get forward
into the last 2 minutes. Oh, Sky have got the. Oh, I've paused it. That's why. It has been on a lot, honest. Tickle in no rush. Wrexham fans are not impressed. It's still 0-0 at Wickham. Ball goes out straight away, throw to Wrexham, lever the edge of the area. Brunt throwing down the line, looking for Fletcher. 2 men on him, ricochets off them, and Marriott's interested as well to get a touch. Longman keeps it in, it's very tight on their left-hand side. Longman's done well to find Rathbone now. Can he help it on again? He works it backwards to O'Connell. Wrexham fans furious with that. I think he was conscious though if Taylor had taken up a position between him and Cleworth, and if it was a slightly dangerous pass to attempt.
Yeah, it's a dangerous one to try, but I just think it was on, and that's where we just haven't been able to progress up the pitch in this game, because we've just been a bit too safe at times and not made that brave little ball inside, which can just really cut teams like Wigan open.
Brunt goes for the big diagonal. Barnett is beaten in the air by Robinson. Rathbone. Cleworth now 30 yards out on the right hand side, pulls it square. James, a little bit of space for him, pulls it across. The Wigan are really deep now apart from Asamoah, as Brunt's invited forwards, faces to the edge of the area. Lee to Longman. Wigan have got 3 men in and around him. Longman ways to the far post. Barnett's after that, tickled as well to take it and then keep his balance and not carry us over the line for the goal, for the corner.
Yeah, just ball speed though in that little set-up play. Ball's going across. If you're going to do it, you've got to put a bit of pace on it so that it takes those players out. If the ball speed's slow, the defenders can move and slot into their slots that they need to go into. Ball forwards by Wigan is a poor one. And so Wrexham have a 4 more minutes. Just 4. I mean, fair enough, as James goes back to Okonkwo, who's been put under pressure by Asamoah. He turns away from trouble well and launches it on the flank. It goes out for a throw to Wigan, just inside the Wrexham half. So we're into added time. The other game 0-0 with 2 minutes left. Throw-in taken. O'Connell's header hits a Wigan body. Dale squeezes it back. Carragher stands it into the box first time. Barnett clears left-footed. Fletcher is hit from behind. Referee gives the free kick on the halfway line. Well, ironically, the ball dropped loose. Ref might have played advantage there. Wrexham, if Lee had managed to beat Aimson to it and it was a 50-50, would have been 2-on-1. Anyway, cute though. Cute. Oh yeah. We would want our team to do exactly the same. 100%. Stand on it. So, free kick on the halfway line. Wrexham committing players forwards. Have we got one more chance in us? High line held by Wigan as Brunt stands it up. Fletcher on the edge of the box beats him, but it drops loose and picked up by Rathbone on the corner of the box, forced wide. Barnett's in support. He tees it up, stands it to the far post, and it's headed away from goal by Lee as he stretches to keep it alive. Picked up by Longman. Wigan still stuck in the box. Nice reverse pass. Longman finds Lee, who typically cuts on his right foot, stands it into the edge of the area, half-headed clear, and it drops kindly for Tickle. It was Barnett in the middle of the 6-yard box. Not, I suppose, the play you necessarily want in there, attacking it, and he caused the problem. The ricochet off a defender, though, was kind to Wigan, and an opportunity is gone. Yeah, and will there be one more in this game? Just looking to the last 2 minutes. Elliot Lee does well, just floats that ball in, and like you say, it's Ryan Barnett who finds himself in that middle of the box. Probably just not the man you'd want there to try and generate anything off the cross.
just won't fall.
Scrappy spell of play in the middle of the pitch until Cleworth's head lets the ball drop for Brunt. Now then Lee crosses the halfway line. Longman is ahead of him on the touchline. Lee carries it down the flank well. Longman now sweeps in the cross. Fletcher just beaten to it, but he's got a block on it, and Adiko can only hit as far as Rathbone. 90 seconds left. Brunt switches well to Cleworth. Barnett is ahead of him, feeds him in, chance to go at Robinson, goes round the outside. Robinson sticking with him. Barnett delivers the cross. It's a good one. Oh, and Lee just short of making contact with it. Longman now with a chance to run at Dale. He steps over, hits the goal line. Good defending. It ricochets away. Longman wants to win the corner. It's come off him last, but he's kept it in. Ball quickly shifted back. Wrexham finishing this game as we enter the last minute, putting the pressure on. Ball helped on by Lee. Longman on his right foot, sweeps it in, edge of the box. Great header, clear that. Diving header away by Robinson. Throw into Wrexham, level the edge of the area. 40 seconds left. Wickham have scored. Wrexham need a goal. Longman, level the edge of the box. Takes on his man. It ricochets off him. Can he stop it going out of play? Yes, he can. He's done well. 25 seconds left. Lee feeds to the edge of the box. Wrexham on the foul, but it's a good challenge by Adiko.
Wigan are standing up. Sorry, Matt. Wigan are standing up really strong. Can Wrexham get that ball into the box?
Looks like Taylor scored for Wickham in added time. The big centre back. We've got 5 seconds left. Will the ref just give us one last chance? Nobody's back for Wrexham. Okonkwo's on the halfway line, and Parkinson's pointing that out. Barnett's got to drop off 30 yards. This is it then. Longman with a long throw. Ref gives the go ahead. He hurls it into the near post. Good distance, flicked on and hacked away from under the bar. Wrexham scrap for it again. Lee in the box is smashed clear, and that is that. The crowds go up. Wigan have earned a goalless draw against Wrexham, and it looks like Wickham, with 2 minutes left, are going to win with an injury time goal. We said one goal to make all the difference, and Wrexham have dropped 2 points here. Wickham look like they're going to get the 3. Huge frustration for Wrexham. A massive following came, but they weren't able to see their team break through Wigan's stubborn defence. That's not something I'm saying to be critical of Wigan. Wigan have been excellent and defensively, and when they've had to come forwards, they have done well. We certainly didn't have control of that game. There were passages where we did. The opening of the match, the start of the second half, and the start at the end of the game, but it would be misleading to suggest that we dominated that match. Knocking balls in behind Wigan's defence didn't really work. The pitch was taking a bounce. It looked like slick, and as a consequence we weren't able to get good service in when we played that pass, and there were chances were few and far between. In fact, Asamoah, probably the most dangerous looking player on the pitch, forced a good save from Okonkwo after a breakaway from a corner. As a Wrexham corner, that is. And so Mia and Andy are on their way down. If you want to join them on the Wrexham YouTube channel to see them break that match down. But we took advantage last weekend, but Wickham have narrowed that gap, and their fans are really delighted with that. They're staying behind to give their team a standing ovation. That shows how much it means. But like I said, very little in terms of goal-mouth action from Wrexham, frustratingly. And as a result, well, we now go into the Easter weekend, always a massive point in the season with everything to play for. Frustration for Wrexham, but we are still in there with our fate in our own hands. With the final score of Wigan Athletic 0, Wrexham 0. We've been Mark Griffiths, Mia Roberts and Andy Morrell from Wrexham AFC.